What is up, y'all? We are live action. Dr. Pineset, the study doc here. And I'm just hopping on live because I saw something go down today. You guys know I'm a Laker fan. And I saw something go down with Dennis Schroeder today. And a lot of people are focusing on the back end. If you guys didn't see it, he turned down 4 years, $84 million from the Lakers, and just signed a 1 year, $5.9 million with the Celtics. And people are focusing on the contract decision and the issue there. But the real issue, guys, is a problem that a lot of you guys have as pre-meds that can sabotage you and cost you tremendously in your career in terms of opportunities, in terms of success that you could have. And so I don't want you guys to make some mistakes. So we're going to talk about it and break it down. This is what you can learn from Dennis Schroeder costing himself $80 million. Yes, that's 80 followed by 6 zeros. Nuts. But you guys can learn from it. So let's learn from it today, y'all. Glad to see you guys. Rosanna on here earlier. Robert on here earlier. What up, y'all? Let's go.
What I teach you guys is transformation. If you didn't dominate, changes need to be made. So I give you guys entire systems that make you new. But stop making excuses. Stop whining. Stop, right? Get at it. No excuses. Just dominate.
All right, y'all. If you didn't see it, okay, Dennis Schroeder signed with the Lakers. He was traded to the Lakers this offseason and played this year with the Lakers. And he was on the Lakers, and we expected great things out of him to hold down our Laker tradition, and he didn't have such a great year. And the Lakers were still going to offer him 4 years, $84 million because we need a point guard, and he was our guy. And he said, no, I'm not going to do $84 million. I want to test free agency. I want $100 million. And he gets to free agency, and everybody's getting money. I mean, players who shouldn't be getting $20 million are getting $20 million. And Dennis Schroeder ends up with a 1 year, $5.9 million from the Celtics, and everybody's laughing at him. And they're laughing at him because like, man, why didn't you take the 4 years, $84 million? Why would you wait till the end of the season to see what's happening? And for me, the gripe I have with it is not that. My real gripe is to ask, and this is what a lot of you guys don't recognize, right? We see the downstream effect. We see the contract fall apart. But the real learning point here, guys, and the real issue that you should be seeing with this is why didn't the Lakers step up and still offer him $84 million? Why didn't another team step up and offer him 4 years, $84 million? And the answer lies in one of the mistakes that a lot of you guys make as pre-meds and as college students, and that you guys have to understand, no matter how much talent you have, and Dennis Schroeder's immensely talented, a lot of you guys have a lot of thoughts about your talents and what you have to offer to this world, right? And you take on opportunities. You're like, yeah, I'm the ish. Like, they should treat me like royalty when I come around here. And you go into these opportunities. And what we forget about is a lot of times the people who get rewarded, the people who get success, people who get opportunities are not the people who are the most talented, are not the smartest people, not the most, right? But it's the people who are the best to be around. And it's come out now that actually it turns out LeBron didn't care for Dennis Schroeder. It has come out now that a lot of the other Lakers didn't care for Dennis Schroeder. They felt like he was only out for himself and he was trying to get his own stuff off. And what we have to recognize is for a lot of you guys, are you an agitator or are you a lubricator? Because Dennis Schroeder came in doing his own thing, an individual, being an agitator, working against the grain. So I'm going to do my own thing. I don't care what's going on with there. And because of that, people don't want to have him around. And we talk about, right, you hear all the time like, oh man, a people person, they're going to get ahead in life. Absolutely. Because what people are, right? People are people persons, right? Those people who have that skill set, really what they have is the ability to ingratiate, to make people feel good, to lubricate, right? To move, to make a situation flow smoothly and not be awkward. I don't know about you guys. How many of you guys have been in a situation where you're around somebody who's so, I don't know why they want me to say this in the middle of this live right here. I don't know how many of you guys have been around somebody, right? And they are so, I don't want to say miserable. They are so either awkward or they are so attitudinal or they are so difficult, right? They always got to one-up you. They always got one extra idea. They can never just go with the flow. They're never just easy going, right? They're hard going. And a lot of you guys don't recognize that in a lot of situations, you have the option, you have the choice to be someone who goes with the flow, who's easygoing, who's a team player, who contributes in meaningful ways, but doesn't rock the boat. Or you have the opportunity to be someone who's a pirate. You're a Jack Sparrow type. And that's actually a good analogy. Some of y'all go into activities, you're Jack Sparrow. You're like, oh, I got to make a difference. So I'm going to do it totally different. Forget everything you guys have been doing for forever. I got a better idea. Forget what you're doing. Here's what we're doing. And instead, what you guys be trying to do is add to the mix. You're not trying to change up the whole recipe. Add to the mix. Like, you know what? You know what's good in every stew? Sausage. I had delicious gumbo. There's a place called Felix's Barbecue. And Shannon and I ordered it the other night. And their gumbo was black as my hair, y'all. It was so dark and delicious, and they had so much sausage in it. Sausage makes everything better. So what you want to be is you want to be the sausage of human beings. You want to go in a situation, you want to bring seasoning, you want to bring flavor, you want to add to the mix, but you don't want to take away. You guys feel what I'm saying? Bell peppers, I feel like, are like the agitator. Bell peppers are good, cool sometimes, but sometimes you get in there and like, ooh, mess up the whole flavor. When you guys are involved in activities, be a lubricator. And one of the reasons that I've been successful in my career, throughout my career, is that I'm an easy person to be around. And any of my students who have ever been around me in real life, I'm the same way all the time. And it's because I focus on what really matters and what moves the bottom line. And I try to see how we can all move forward productively. And so every opportunity I'm in, I'm like, how can we win? How can we win? How can we win? That's where my focus is, not how can I look good? Not how can I get out of here early? How can I avoid work? Right? I'm focused on how can we win? How can we make the impact? How can we be productive? How can we move forward? And because of that, right, what do you need me to do? I'll fill in wherever. I'm not above anything, right? Like the other day, I was working this past weekend. It was a Sunday, and I'm right an anesthesiologist. I'm an attending physician, and so I supervise my resident. And then in the OR, we have OR nursing, right? We have OR scrub techs, and then we also have our janitorial staff, right? Our custodial staff. And after the first case, right, we were trying to hurry and get our second case done. And I could have just left the room and whatever, but I got right in there. I said, hey, what do you need me to do? I grabbed a bunch of stuff, put it in the trash can, folded the bag up, and was working with the custodial staff, with the OR staff to get everything cleaned up so we can get the next case going faster so we can get home on our Sunday. And that's being a lubricator, guys. That's pushing things forward and not being an obstructionist. Don't be the brakes, y'all. Be the gas in your situation. So I don't have too much to say about it, but I just think it's a very fine point, but it's something that a lot of us miss. We don't recognize how we're being difficult. You guys know what I'm saying? Some of you guys know people who got like a blind spot to their difficult. They act like, oh, I'm so easy to be around. And it's like, no, you're not easy to be around. You suck all the air out of the room. And it cost Dennis Schroeder $80 million because he couldn't realize, listen, it doesn't matter how good I am. It doesn't matter how great I am, how quick I am, how good I can shoot, how great I can play defense. If people don't want me around, they're not going to give me the opportunity to be around and pay me $84 million to be around. Instead, they're going to put me on the bench behind Marcus Smart, who can't even shoot, and give me $5.9 million. And so for you guys, ask yourself, as you guys go through opportunities, man, am I missing out on stuff because my attitude's not right? Is my pride too high, too strong? Am I too selfish? Right? Am I too standoffish? Is my skin too thin? Every little thing that's said bothers me. Ask yourselves that, guys. If you're flaming out all the time, right? If in every opportunity you go to, every group project you have an issue with your group, maybe the issue is not the group. Maybe you are the issue, right? Right? Oh, how many of you guys, come on, let's be honest, right? It's not you, it's your friends. How many of you guys got friends, and every time you talk to your friend, they got some conflict with a coworker, with a fellow class student, with their PI, with their teacher, they always got a conflict with somebody. How many of you guys got a friend like that? How many of you guys got a friend like that? I appreciate that, Kaya. I'm here for hours for you guys, y'all. If you guys are enjoying this video, like Kaya's enjoying this video, like Patrice is enjoying this video, right? Like Jean is enjoying this video, give me a like right now, guys. Let YouTube know, let the algorithm know you guys are enjoying this. It's the Study Doc Show. I'm Dr. Pine. If it's your first time joining us, make sure to take a second to subscribe. Yeah, Patrice said it's the narcissism, right? Why is narcissism so off-putting? Because in this world, guys, and actually I was reading it, there was an interesting article that came out this week. I forget which periodical it is. Maybe I'll link it in the description below. But there was an article that came out this week, and it talked about why people who are selfish are so bothersome to us, like why we dislike them so much. And it was talking about how it goes back to our origins of being a more primitive society. Before we had, abundance, we had scarcity. And when we had scarcity and we lived in villages and tribes, everyone had to be part of the community and had to contribute. And people didn't pull their weight it was detrimental and could not only hurt them, but could hurt the community at large as a whole, right? Because if I'm a gatherer and you're a hunterer and I'm gathering my butt off, I got all the berries in the world, but you don't bring no meat home, you're breaking up our society. And so that's why we have to, like, he was talking about how like all this origin goes back to that, of how, why we hate selfishness. And I thought it was a perfect point. It's like, man, we're like in productive situations, we work as a team and as a collective. And if you aren't pulling your weight, there's nothing more frustrating. That's why group projects suck. Because there's always going to be one person in the group who cares none, right? Most of you guys are on here because you're pre-meds. And as a pre-med, you always care because you need the A. But there's always someone who's like, I don't really want to be here, blah, blah, blah. And someone who's waiting for you to do their part. And it's terrible. And it feels bad. And so sometimes imagine, guys, when you're in an opportunity, you're in a club, don't be the person that everyone doesn't want in their group. Because some of you guys are that way. And I've seen it time and time again. And it's interesting to me, these people have blind spots. Like they don't even see how abrasive they are. And so I encourage you guys all to look in the mirror and say, listen, am I hard to work with? Am I difficult to work with? Do I come off as standoffish? Do I come off as attitudinal? And I'll divert a point here for a second. Because, right, I am a black person, right? I am a black physician. I was a black medical student. I was a black pre-med. I also have noticed that when you are a person of color, you have to be even more careful about what you're putting out, the vibe you're putting out. I have to be more cool than I even feel like I need to be because I'm a big black male. And when I walk in a room, they see big black male, and if I'm attitudinal, then I'm the angry black man, and it's scary to people, right? And so the image of that together, I'd be even more jovial, right? More casual than I would even think to be because I have to compensate for that. So for my students of color, right, recognize that sometimes people frame you that way, and whether it's fair or whatever, it's the reality of what's happening. And so account for that and understand that and say, wait a minute. Okay, wait. When I go into situations, they're going to see me as the big black guy. So you know what I do? I got to disarm them. I'm going to disarm them. I'm going to get their shields down by being overly nice. My smile, oh, so many teeth. Look at all these teeth all the time, right? Always smiling, always having a good time. Be that person so that way you can make people feel good about your presence, not be scared of you, not be concerned about it, not be like you're the attitudinal black girl, right? As they try to label, right, our black women. Don't be that, right? And I see, so our Armenians on here, what up, right? Same thing goes for, right, and I heard this recently. Someone called someone a Persian princess, right? It's the same kind of rep. Oh, you're a Persian princess, right? It's the same. We have all these stereotypes. And so be aware of the stereotypes for who you are and what it is, and then compensate for that accordingly. Be even more agreeable. Yeah? All right. So that's all I wanted to say about this, guys, because I think it's soft skills are underrated. So when people focus on, the numbers and this and the other thing, and I can tell you, many of the opportunities I've had in my life have come because I'm good to people. I'm nice to people. I'm compassionate. I take the extra time. I'm a team player. I don't have an ego, right? I'm extremely cocky and confident in my abilities, but I don't have an ego. I'm not too big to do anything, right? And that's how you guys want to be. And actually, I'll give you one more example before we get out of here. Is you guys know I'm an anesthesiologist, and I currently have 2 anesthesia jobs, okay? So I'm on faculty at UCSD, and then I work private practice. I have 2 anesthesia jobs, and I've never applied for a job. Picture that. I have 2 anesthesia jobs and I've never applied for a job. How does that happen? Because people like being around me. Because I'm a team player, nothing's beneath me, and I work hard to get the job done. I'm always there, upbeat, positive, optimistic, smiling, ready to get the job done. I don't complain. I work, I get it in, and I do it at a high level. And as a result, people ask me to take the job. Instead of me applying for a job or begging for a job, they come to me. Right? Dejan, what do you want to talk about more in depth? Kasim, you're very welcome. Yeah, talk about behind the curtains. Do you guys understand what I'm saying? And again, it's not anything. Yeah, it's a big flex, but it's the truth. It's the reality. I'm just telling you guys what it is. I have 2 jobs and I have never applied for an anesthesia job. Hey, you want to come work here? We like you. Oh, sure. You like me? Come on, I'll go. You get paid money? Okay, great. Right? But it comes from people got to want to have you around to invite you to have you around. Right? If you notice you're not getting invited to any of the parties, it's probably because nobody wants to be around you. It's not because of how you look. And this is actually, let's detour again. I always go back to dating because I feel like we all have experienced the spurn of a young lady. I remember, I'll run it back. I'm happily married now. But I can remember a time in 7th grade. I'll never forget it. Brianna. There was this girl, Brianna. I thought she was very good looking, very beautiful. And I wanted to be with her. And so I asked her to be my girlfriend. She said, yes, of course, right? But it wasn't just like that. You know how elementary school, there's like a couple notes passed. Like, hey, does your friend Brianna like me? Let me ask her. And then they ask, Brianna says she might be interested. Are you interested? And then you got to like go back and forth, right? Like between the friends. Because you can't actually talk. So then it was confirmed that she liked me and that she wanted to be my girlfriend. And then I wanted to be her boyfriend. And then like everyone knew I was going to come and I was going to ask her out, right? And I had to let her be my girlfriend. Whatever that means in 7th grade. And so what it meant in 7th grade was we'd hold hands at recess. And at recess, I actually liked to play basketball. I'm 7th grade, right? I'm 12. Right? I'm like, I don't have any use for holding your hand for 15 minutes every day. I got 15 minutes I can play some basketball. So I got broken up and she came and it was vicious, y'all. It was vicious. She came and she broke up with me because she said I cared more about basketball than I cared about holding her hand. Oh, man. And it hurt me. It cut me deep because I liked her. I wanted to be with her. But basketball was just something that called me more. And the reason I bring this up, excuse me, it's live action, y'all. If y'all with me live action, like this video right now, let me know we still okay. My voice can crack and be all right. I've had a long day. And the emotions. I'm getting choked up on the emotions of Brianna. Is that when we broke up, she told everybody that I was like difficult to be with and blah, 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 all this stuff. I'm like, be with, we spend 15 minutes together a day. It's 7th grade. We spend 15 minutes together a day. And people are like, no, that's not Andre. Andre is so nice and blah, blah, blah. And so people blew it off. But then what was interesting was it backfired on her because she was trying to say that I had an attitude and people then perceived like, wait a minute, we like Andre. So that means we don't like you. You got an attitude. And it backfired on her. And so then she was labeled as someone who was not pleasant to be around. And it turns out it really affected her opportunities to go through, junior high and high school where people didn't want to date her because they thought she was high maintenance. And it's amazing to me. The reason I bring this story up is there's a point to this, I promise you, is that we honestly dated for maybe a week. You know how 7th grade is. Maybe, and when I say dated, we literally hung out at recess for a week. And then she broke up with me in public. She literally stormed over the basketball court, stopped the game, and said, we are done, and like walked away all sassy, right? And that breakup and the fact that she tried to badmouth me and people were like, no, you must have the attitude and the way you broke up and everything, stuck with her all the way through high school, 6 years. If that moment can stick with her for 6 years, imagine what one attitudinal blow up, out of control moment in a research lab, in a lecture, in a club organization, imagine how that can stick with you. Right? We see this in the Me Too movement. We see this in cancel culture. And I'm not saying initially in sexual assault, but my point is this, is that if someone said, look at the baby right now, who makes good music. And he had an off night. He's live action on stage. And he said some outlandish, inappropriate stuff. And people are like, I'll never buy a DaBaby album again. So it's one moment that's going to crush his career. And so for all of you guys, recognize that 1 minute of losing control, of not being able to control your attitude, of complaining because you're having a bad day because something happened at home, and then you get there and then something's not right. Where, one day of complaining or having a bad attitude or getting into a skirmish, an altercation, an argument, whatever, can change how you're perceived for years, guys. And this is particularly true. I'm talking now to my people who are going to go on, as you think about going through your journey in medical school, this is particularly true because unlike medical school admissions, residency admission is actually very subjective, meaning it's about who you know and who knows you and who likes to know you. And so if you are seen as someone who is difficult, or there's one time where you blew up on someone and it's the wrong person, it can heavily damage your future prospects to have the career trajectory you'd like to have in the medical specialty you want to have, in the place you want to have, and it sticks with you. And so don't be Brianna. And I'm not picking on Brianna. Brianna's fantastical, great. I went to winter formal with Brianna in high school. And I think we actually went to prom too one year, if I'm not mistaken. Right? She's great. She's phenomenal. She's amazing. We became great friends. But the point is that things can stick with you. And so recognize that in a moment of getting miffed about something, people remember that stuff. People remember moments when you weren't a team player. When they say, hey, listen, you know what? I've got to get this done. Can you get this done? And you don't get your part of the stuff done, people remember that. If you're in that research lab and they ask you to deliver on one thing, hey, listen, we need you to present on this on Thursday, and you're not ready to present or you present poorly, do you think they're going to give you your own project? When you go to ask 2 weeks later for your own project, are they going to give it to you? No, y'all. No. So the little things will stick with you and change your life. So anyway, I won't waste you guys' time anymore. If you guys enjoyed this, did we have fun? Did we learn something? Okay. Don't be Dennis Schroeder. It cost him $80 million. And for you guys, it may not be $80 million. But all the little things that you guys lose out on your life as you're building the pyramid of your success, of your resume, little things that you miss out on can end up being big things and big time for your career and throw your entire trajectory of getting to medical school off track. So focus in, be a good person, be a team player, be compassionate, be composed, and smile. Smile. Lubricate, don't agitate. That's the word for the day, guys. Lubricate, don't agitate. Put it in the box right now. Lubricate, do not agitate. I want everyone to have a great day. As always, guys, we always end the same way. What do we say? No excuses, just dominate, guys. I'll see you next time. Thanks so much.
That's it for another episode of the Study Doc Show. Show your love by smashing the like button and commenting in the box below. Today is the day, guys. No more excuses, no more complaining. You're going to take your future into your own hands. You're going to dominate. You're going to be successful. I challenge you. What are you going to do today to make your life better? Get to my website, thestudydoc.com. Grab a free ebook, sign up for a free webinar, and if you're really ready to transform, enroll in one of my life-changing courses or coaching programs. You have greatness inside you. Let me show you how to unlock it so you can dominate and make your dreams a reality. No excuses, just dominate.